to put out your left pinky finger and then your right thumb. And now that you all got that, I want you to switch. Switch.
There was a motion.
Switch.
Okay.
All right. So if you give that exercise about 2 to 3 minutes, the beautiful thing that happens is your brain will adapt to that. And it's all through the lens of one simple idea that really changed my life, which is neuroplasticity. And I define neuroplasticity as the ability of the brain, body, and nervous system to change, heal, and adapt over time, according to our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our emotions, basically everything that we do. And as far as my story, I'm going to give you the condensed version due to time, but I grew up in a very tiny town in North Carolina, a country town. And from an early age, I always had this sense that I kind of felt out of place, even though I lived in a beautiful farm, chickens, cows, roosters, goats, you name it. So there was a lot of nature and I had a lot of freedom, but I still had this innate feeling to fit in with others. And at first that manifested through sports like a positive way. I was playing sports, baseball, basketball, football. But in high school, I felt I ended up getting cut from the high school basketball team. Boo-hoo, yeah, haha. But the fact is it separated me from my friend group at that time. And so I did the only thing that I knew at that time to continue to get that group approval, which was drugs and alcohol. And we all know that's a slippery slope. And ironically, I'm wearing a Dublin Irish. I'm not a drinker anymore, but I am Irish. I think I'm that descent. But anyhow, long story short is I ended up getting in a fight with a bouncer outside of a nightclub 12 years ago. A big burly dude. And this gentleman knocked me out pretty good that I was unconscious on the side of the street. And to add insult to injury, everybody and their grandma saw it. Over 100,000 people saw this incident in Asheville, North Carolina. So there was a lot of shame, a lot of guilt associated with that. But to make matters worse, I had what doctors said was a broken brain. And so I developed the brain bleed and even epilepsy. I started to have grand mal seizures. I was having about 3 grand mal seizures a month at that time and experiencing even more concussions. And so there was memory loss. There was impulsive. I got back into drugs and alcohol, impulse control. I couldn't stop myself. It's like a 5-year-old child that couldn't control his speech. But that's when I found out about the miracles of neuroplasticity, because that at that time gave me something that I didn't have, which was hope. And we all need hope, because without hope, you're hopeless. Go figure, right? And hope is a very powerful tool. And to make a long story short, I ended up taking the bull by the horns. I got into meditation, visualization, affirmations, exercise, nutrition, really anything that you can think of just to make those tiny incremental baby steps in the right direction. And the changes honestly didn't happen overnight. It took time. It took like a year and a half, and I started to gain my cognition back. And I went from somebody who was having difficulty speaking basic sentences to now being with you beautiful people and learning how to speak. And I just want to say that it doesn't take gigantic moves every day. All we have to do is these little tiny pinky moves, these little tiny movements every day improves our cognition. And baby steps, pinky moves, whatever you want to call them, add up over time, and it causes big changes. Lots of people, before neuroplasticity, they just called it learning. Like I learned a new thing. And so learning is one of the most neuroprotective things that we can do for our brain and our nervous system. So dive into those books, learn about public speaking, participate in it, and you're going to start to see some awesome changes and results. And now, so back to some more mental exercises. The next one I want you all to do is to use your right hand and start to clap as fast as you can with your left hand. Okay, now let's switch to the other side. I see you, Anthony. Did we notice? I appreciate the claps. I mean, but did anybody notice a little slight deviation or difference between the two?
No.
Isn't that interesting? So this is, our brain has incredible abilities to do amazing things. If all we have to do is to say use it or lose it organ, get up in the morning and start to use what God gave us, this amazing superpower that we all have in between our skulls. So let's give up the quick dopamine hits, give up TikTok, let's give up the instant gratification, let's give up hopefully the drugs and alcohol if you're imbibed to that to too much of an extent. And overall, let's just make in 2025 the world a much better place. We all can do this together, and nobody's an island. So I just want to let you all know. Thank you for your attention and time, and just start today.